Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be starting the May-June turn of 1937. Hopefully we can get through a couple, 3 turns. Shouldn't be that difficult, I don't think. There's nothing really going on the board right now at this moment. Last turn we saw Persia conquered by the Soviets, and we also saw a rare bit of cooperation between the Communist Chinese and the Nationalist Chinese. They kind of have an idea that the Japanese are more of a threat to them collectively than they are to themselves. So, that being said, let's go take a look at the starting money for the major powers. So we have Germany at 0, Italy at 0, Japan at -2, USSR at -3, Commonwealth at -4, France at -1, USA at 0, and China is the wealthiest of them all at 2. The major powers have been on a spending spree, not only politically but militarily. So I've recorded the bids for the major powers. Let's take a look at what they are. We have the Commonwealth bidding 1 with a +4, gives her a 5 total because she's in the first part. Germany bidding 1 with a +3 for a total of 4. The USSR bidding 1 for +3, total of 4. Italy bidding 1 for +2, total of 3. And Japan bidding 1 with a +2, total of 3. Despite the major powers having basically no money, 5 of them actually bid this turn. Must be something they want to get done. So let's take a look at what the order is going to be. Germany, or rather the Commonwealth, is sitting at 5, so she's going to be in the first spot. Germany's got 4, and the Soviet Union's got 4 modified bids. In this case, the tie will be broken by the political effectiveness, which Germany's is at 5 and the Soviets are at 4. So Germany will be in second, followed by the Soviets in third. We also have another tie between Italy and Japan. Both their modified bids are at 3. Look over here to the political effectiveness. Italy has a political effectiveness of 3. And Japan has a political effectiveness of 2. So the Italians are going to be 4th. The Japanese are going to be 5th. And that will be the last card. Be Japan. And the other one goes at the Commonwealth. Now the remainder of the major powers that did not bid, we have France, US, and China. France is at 1, US is at 1. That's a tie. The tie will be broken by the political effectiveness. The French are at 3 rather. The US is at 2. So France beats the US there. They get 6. The US gets 7th, and China gets 8th. So let's take a look at what the Commonwealth has decided to do. Chamberlain is really concerned about the Middle East, especially with the recent Soviet aggression, the conquest of Persia. So what the Commonwealth has decided to do is they're going to try to gain some more influence in Iraq. They'd like to bring Iraq, they'd like to get a treaty with Iraq, and in order to do that, they're going to need some more political influence in Iraq, because the current political standings in Iraq, you have the Soviets at a 4, and the Commonwealth at a 2, and that's just not acceptable to Chamberlain. So influence, let's check it out. Initiative position is less than miners' willpower. Well, Commonwealth's initiative position is 1, and the miners' willpower, right here, is, you can see it, where are you? Right there's Iraq. It's a 5. It's a 5 right there. That's Iraq. willpower is a 5. Okay. So let's read the rest of it. Choose an eligible minor, roll a die. 1 is a -1 all the way to 10, which is a +5. Cost of getting the modifier is 9 minus the willpower of the minor. Well, the minor's willpower is 5, so 9 minus 5 is 4. I've paid for that. So all we have to do is roll a die and see what happens. Could be bad, it could be good. Well, 9, that's really good. A 9 is going to be +4. Well, let's get the marker out. +4. Wow. Put that in there. And obviously, I do believe the Commonwealth now gets to activate a minor, and I think we're going to activate Iraq. We got 6 Commonwealth points in there. So grab the markers, go over to the status display, and see what happens. That was a really tremendously good roll for the Commonwealth. They really got their money's worth on that. All right. I'm over here at the status display. We got the Iraqi marker right on the top. We got influence markers lined up here. I've looked at it. I don't really think it's going to make a difference who goes first or what. So we'll just use the Japanese one. That's 1 point. That does nothing. No effect. Now we'll do the Soviet one. That's going to be 4 points. So it's going to go 1, 2 over towards the Soviet marker. Now we use the Commonwealth influence. We got 6 points, so we're going to go towards the Commonwealth, which is over here. 1, 2, go here or here. Well, here is actually further away from the fascia, so we'll go here. Move it right there, and that's the 6. Last thing we do, see if the Commonwealth ends the political phase. Die roll of 6. Move on to the next major power. Last card marker down, that's Germany. Let's go check out, see what Germany's going to do. Is going to sign a minor alliance. She's going to sign that alliance with Finland. Let's read it. Okay, the minor's not in civil war, or is not at war, or has been declared war on this turn. Okay, each minor may have up to 2 alliances. They both may be with the same minor, same major power. Okay, let's see. It's going to cost 5 money. I'm going to get the treaty chart. Oh, by the way, the influence that the Commonwealth took during her turn did nothing for U.S. entry. Okay, so let's see what the modifiers are. Okay. Alright. Okay, add 1 to the result for each factory resource mark you have in the minor. There's none. Add the minor's willpower. Okay, the minor's willpower is a 5, and subtract your initiative position, which is 2, so that's going to be a 3. Subtract the distance in hexes on a status display. Well, Finland's right in the middle, so that's going to be 5 hexes, so that's a -2. Subtract 2 if the minor is hostile to you. No, it's not hostile. And it's the last one. Oh, subtract 3 if you're trying to break an alliance. No, it's not trying to break an alliance. So here's Finland's willpower. Right there. That's a 5. Okay, so basically we have -2 to the die. Grab a die, roll it. See what we got. We got a, oh, well, let's see. Okay, there's the die roll. Came out as a 6, so 6 minus 2 is 4. The alliance is signed. I'll put the, I'll go do the influence and the U.S. entry and be right back. Okay, I put the influence out, and now Germany gets to activate a minor. And I think she's gonna go for Sweden. We got a -2 for the Soviets, a -2 for the Commonwealth, and a 2 German marker. So this should move the marker a little bit. Let's go over to the status display. Put the markers out. And where are you? Sweden. Right there. Well, I don't know why, but they always seem to be on the bottom. Okay. Now, not quite sure how this is going to go, because sometimes it's important how you activate these influence points. So let's see. Yeah, I don't really think. I think what we're going to do is, we'll activate the Soviet one first. That'll bring it away from the Soviets because it's a -2. So we have, oh, the US 1 point is going to just get negated. Then I think I'll move it. If it acted to Germany, it's going to drag it down here, and then the Commonwealth is going to push it here. If the Commonwealth push here, it doesn't matter. So I'll activate the German one. It's going to go here. And then we'll activate the -2 Commonwealth. The German point, well, it was 2 points. It's going to push it away from the Commonwealth. It's going to go here. So Sweden's right on the verge of entering the fascist ideology. The last thing to do, I keep losing my dice, is roll a die and see if Germany ends a political phase. Well, not with that roll. It's a nice solid 10. So we'll move the last card marker down to the Soviets. Let's go see what they're going to do. Stalin is worried about the Chinese. He doesn't trust the democracies. He thinks they're going to stab him in the back. He's paranoid. All those good things about Joe. So what he's going to do is he is going to play Russian option 8. Abduct Chiang Kai-shek. Okay, so you can only play this option. It's not played RU7. RU7 is Chinese Civil War. And her initiative is less than half of China's. The Soviet initiative is 3, and China is 8. So that's definitely less than half. Okay, after playing this option, China and the Soviet Union may not start a Chinese Civil War, respectively, for 60 turns. China's not in civil war, so that doesn't apply. U.S. entry is a whopping 10. There's a bunch of minor countries that get some influences, +1, -1. And I'll put those markers out and come back, and the Russians will get to activate a minor. Yeah, the Soviets don't have a lot of options, so what they're going to do is just get rid of their -1 in Turkey and activate Turkey. Well, that takes care of that. Doesn't move the marker on the status display, so no sense in even going over there. Alright, so we have to roll to see if the Russians end the political phase. Well, roll of 7. Where are we? Right there. That's not going to end the political phase. The marker moves down 1. It is now Italy's turn. Italy is going to do a minor economic agreement. And she's going to sign that with Spain. It's going to cost 4 money. And we're going to get 1 resource out of Spain for that. So I'll put the political markers out. Gives us 2 points in Spain total. So now Italy gets to activate a minor. And I think she just might activate Spain. Why not? Let's go over there and check it out. We got 2 Italian, 1 Commonwealth, and 1 Soviet. So we'll get rid of the 1 Commonwealth and 1 Soviet, and the 2 Italian will move the marker. So let's go over to the status display. The markers. Here they are. Okay. Well, the 1 Soviet doesn't do anything. The 1 Commonwealth doesn't do anything. The 2 Italian will move the marker 1 hex. So, got something out of it. Next up, well, Italy's got to pay for that. That's $4. That puts Italy down to -5 for this turn. Ouch. These major powers got no money at all. Alright, let's see if Italy ends the turn. Roll a die. Let's see, Italy is, we've got a roll of a, where are we? We've got a roll of a 6. Italy is the, okay, that's 3 options played. So that would be -3 to the die, so that's a 3. The political option, the political phase does not end. Last card marker moves down to Japan, which is the last bidding major power. Let's go see what Japan's gonna do. Japan is going to play Tojo Takes Over. Alright, let's see what that does. Okay. All right. Okay. Japan may only play this option if either Japan has previously played Japan 7, which is abandoned Manchuria, which if that happens, the game's pretty much over for Japan. Or B, Japan's initiative is greater than any 2 of Commonwealth, Soviet Union, China, and the U.S. Well, the Commonwealth is 1, and the Soviet Union is 3, and Japan is 5. So, the Commonwealth and the Soviet Union have... And Japan's initiative is greater than any of those 2. Okay? Those 2, rather. Alright. So, this is going to increase Japan's political effectiveness by 2. Okay, Japan must move her political marker towards the center of fascism. Japan gets 8 movement points minus her initiative, which is 5. So she's going to get 3 movement points. Japan may move minors she is stacked with or becomes stacked with while moving. Must stop as soon as you reach one of the center hexes not already occupied by another major power. So there's some little bit of influence out here for minors, and the U.S. entry is a whopping 11. So I'll get that recorded, put on the board. We'll come right back with Japan activating a minor. Last up, I think Japan gets to activate a minor. I think we're going to go with Argentina. I originally looked at maybe activating Siam, but I think we want to let the influence build up a little bit more there before we activate Siam, so we can actually drag it into the fascist ideology. So we'll activate Argentina. There's a -1. That gets blown off. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to move the Japanese marker within the fascist ideology. Let me get a camera on this so you can see it. There we go. So it's 8 points minus Japan's initiative position, which is 5, which gives us 3 points. So the Japanese marker is here. It's 2 to go 1 hex towards the center, +1 to cross a boundary, so that's 3. So all 3 points get expended by moving Japan 1 hex. That's the end of the political phase, and I'll roll initiative and weather, and we'll go to reinforcements. See what's coming in this turn. The initiative roll was a 3 for the Democrats, which have a -2, so that's a 2. 1 for the communists, which have a +2, which is a 3, and 9 for the fascists, which have a +2, which is an 11. So the order for this turn is going to be Democrats first, followed by the communists, and the fascists will be going last. The weather roll was a 7, which is fair weather everywhere, and the impulse marker will go up 1 impulse. We'll move up 1 impulse box. Let's take a look at what's coming in for reinforcements. Trying to get a good angle on this somehow. Oh, okay. That's pretty good right there. Alright, what do we got for reinforcements this turn? We got infantry army for the Soviets. I'll put it right here. Okay, the French have a infantry division. The Germans have an HQ, von Bock, coming in. They also have a sub going in the construction pool. The Japanese have a transport coming on board. The British and Germans both have pilots. I'll put those on the track. British and Germans. Okay. The British have a light cruiser going in the construction pool. There's a lot of ships building up in the construction pool. The Germans have, a heavy cruiser going in the construction pool, the Sidlitz. The British have a tanker point, which I'll put on the board. The Germans have an aircraft carrier going in the construction pool. And the Americans have the Lexington coming on board. So I will get the reinforcements on the board and I'll run through the turn, and if anything major happens, I'll stop and we'll start recording at that point again. But I should pick up at production after this. Production for this turn was Germany produced 8, started with 2 and spent 2. Pulled the Graf Zeppelin out of the construction pool for her final cycle. Italy produced 4, started with -1, spent 0. Japan produced 6, started with 2 and spent 4. She is building a convoy point. She is pulling the Yamato out of the force pool and built a combat air group. The Soviet Union produced 3, started with -3, spent 4. So they're way in the debt again. So they're building a tanker point and an infantry corps. Commonwealth produced 6, started at -3, pulled the Furious out of the construction pool for 2, and built a convoy point for 3. France produced 2, started with 1, is building a motorized core for 4. The U.S. is produced 3, started with 3, is building a convoy point, a tanker point, combat air group, and pulled the New York out of the repair pool for a total of 5. China produced 1, started with 3, is building a garrison core for 2. I'll get these on the circle, and I think we'll roll right into the July-August turn. Starting money for the July-August turn is pretty pathetic. We've got Germany at 0, Japan at -2, Italy at -1, the USSR at -7, the Commonwealth at -6, France at -3, the US at -2, and China is in the lead with $2. 2-1, whatever you want to call it. So, I've already recorded the bids for the major powers. There's only one, Germany. Germany's going to bid. They bid 1 point. So it's going to put them in first. I'll pay for it, $1. 1 Reichsmark. The rest of the order, let's check it out. We got the Soviets in the second position with a +3. That will put them in, third position with a +3. That will put them in second. No, the last card markers are both going to be next to Germany. Oh, I'm sorry. That back. The Commonwealth at +4 is going to be second. Soviets will be third. Italy and Japan are tied. Forgot to move that up. But let me check that real quick. Okay, Japan and Italy are tied. However, Japan played Tojo Takes Over, which moves Japan's political marker up 2 spots to 4. So in this case, the tie is going to be broken by Japan's increased political effectiveness of 4 versus Italy's at 3. So Japan will be 4th. The Italians will be 5th. The French and the Americans are tied, but again, America's 2, France is 3, so the tie is broken by the French. They get 6th, the US gets 7th, and China's last at 8th. So let's see what Germany's going to do for political option. I think what she's going to do is do minor economic agreement. I don't even have to get it out. Seen that plenty of times. Okay, her political her initiative position is 1. She's going to sign the agreement with Sweden, whose willpower is 2. So her initiative is less than Sweden's willpower, so she will be able to sign it. She'll get 1 resource from Sweden, and then Germany gets to activate a minor. There's not a lot of good choices. Don't see a lot of good choices. I think that I don't want to do that. We're going to activate the Baltic states. Let's take a look what they have for markers. The Baltic state has 2 German and a -3 Soviet. I'll grab the markers. We'll go over to the political display, status display. Looks like the Baltic states have already been moved once, closer to the Soviets. So we'll put the 2 markers down. We got a -3 for the Soviets and a +2 for the German. So I think we'll do the Soviet one first. That's -3, so that's going to move the political marker back into the center square. And then we'll activate the German. It's 2 points. It's going to push it, I'll move it down to the same hex that Chile's in. And that is in the end of the political phase. Rolled initiative and the weather already. The weather is fine everywhere except north monsoon is storm. I rolled a 5. And the initiative ended up being Communists rolled a 3, the Democrats rolled a 10, and the fascists rolled an 8. So the fascists have decided to go last because the Democrats' 10 is a -1, is a 9. The fascist 8, the +2, is a 10. And the communists are going to go first. So let's take a look at what we got coming in for reinforcements. And then I'll probably just run through the turn and pick it up at production at the end unless something happens. Which I really don't think this turn much is going to happen. Nobody has any money to spend anything on. So, alright, July, August. We have a Chinese garrison division. We have a French infantry corps. We have a Russian infantry corps, a pretty good one for the Russians. It's a 5. We have a British transport coming on board. We have 2 British convoy points. We have an American combat air group. That's going to go in the reserve pool. We have a French combat air group. That's going to go in the reserve pool. And we have a U.S. convoy point. So I'll get those on the board and I'll run through the turn and we'll probably pick up at production. Unless something happens. Okay, production for this turn, and some major powers saved oil and some didn't, just to boost their production a little bit from the hole that all the major powers were in. So Germany produced 8, started with 3, and spent 4. She pulled this sub out of the construction pool, building a pilot, and pulled the Peter Straffer out of the force pool. Japan pulled the Soryu out of the construction pool and pulled the Suzuya out of the construction pool for a total of, Japan produced 6, had 4, spent 3. The Italians produced 3, had 2, and spent 3 to pull the Vittorio Veneto out of the construction pool. The Soviets spent 0 because they produced 3, it has -4. The Commonwealth produced 6, started with 0, and they built a convoy point and a tanker point. The French produced 2, started with -1, built nothing. The U.S. produced 3, started with 1, spent 2 to pull the Langley out of the construction pool. And the Chinese produced 1, started with 3, and spent 3 to pull an infantry army, a communist infantry army, out of the force pool. So I will get those on the circle. I will wrap this turn up and get it uploaded as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.